What's up, everybody? It's time to talk about everyone's favorite Nat 5, the Paladins. Favorite Nat 5. Okay, I'm joking. I think a lot of people are saying that they are underwhelming, they need buffs. Couple things. One, I think it's good that they release a monster that's a little bit underwhelming at first, and then they buff, and then they tweak, and then they change things here and there. Better than having a monster that's super OP and broken, right? Because this was a problem before. They release a monster that's super OP and broken. They don't realize how broken it is, and then they're like, oh, great. Now everyone's summoning for this, like, to try to get this monster, trying to get these from stones, etc., etc. And you can't, like Samoth, right? You can't nerf Samoth because people will rage. People will complain. People will freak out. Like, God forbid Samoth gets nerfed because people spent a lot of money trying to get Samoth, right? Very prevalent in the meta. You can't nerf Samoth because people will rage. So it's better to, I think it's actually better that they did this. They released them a little bit like, okay, a little bit underwhelming, and then buff accordingly, and then like take a look at how people are using it, and like, okay, does this need a little bit of tweaks or whatever? So I think it's actually better that they did this. They made it a little bit, at least they released the monster, right? So they did it a little bit underwhelming. There's some uses for them, actually. So we'll talk about them. But I think generally considered underwhelming. But another thing is, a lot of people are saying, oh, this needs a buff, this needs a buff, this needs a buff. A lot of people are saying it needs a buff, don't have skill ups, don't have root, like, have crap root, like resistance or flat HP slot 6. Like, come on. Get at least rune the monster, awaken the monster, skill up the monster, 6-star the monster, and then decide if it needs a buff or not. Don't just, like, have it 5-star unawakened in storage with no runes and, like, oh, this needs a buff. You didn't use it! How do you know if it needs a buff? You didn't use it. Like, really? You didn't even try it out. Well, I tried it in arena offense. I tried it unawakened 5-star with not skill ups. Like, what? Okay, I mean, like, at least give her a shot first. At least give them a shot first. But that's because a lot of the people that are complaining that they need buffs. And I will say it's not that they're wrong. It's just that use them first, give them a chance first, and then decide, right? But I think she could be useful. I think these girls are limited use, though. I think currently they're a little bit limited use. I would use them in Guild Wars, Guild Siege. For the most part, they're Guild War, Guild Siege monsters. They're not, I mean, like, okay, let's talk about the fire one, right? Attack stuns the enemy for 1 turn with 15% chance. You gain immunity for 1 turn afterwards. Not bad. Attack and gain immunity. That's never bad. Damage according to your max HP. She's got good HP. She's an HP tank. So, rune her for high HP. Okay, number 1. Rune her for high HP. Number 2. Removes all harmful effects on the ally. Makes the ally invincible for 1 turn. Okay. Invincible for 1 turn. And then we have Cry of Threat. Shield that's proportional to your HP for 2 turns on yourself and activates Threat State. While the enemy can attack 3 times, the enemy can only attack the target under threat state when using the attack skill. Okay, so the good thing about this is it can't be resisted, right? Because it's a threat state, it's on you, and then there's no accuracy resistance check. That's cool. And then the Guild War defense leader skill is great. I love this leader skill. One of the best Guild War leader skills in the game. And you can actually you can pair this, think about it this way, you can pair this with Bulldozer, right? Bulldozer, Immensity, Ophilia, not a bad combination. Your Bulldozer is going to do a ton of damage, right? So that's one good use for her. That's one good pairing for her. If that's the only reason you're using her, you at least have that, right? Another use for her, and I would probably, for me, I would go HP, Violent Nemesis. So my reason for Violent Nemesis is she's kind of a nice counter to, like, a lot, like, super crazy huge HP. Maybe stick some defense subs on there, some speed subs on there, and you can use her against things like Molong Perna. You see a lot of Molong Pernas in there, right? So you can use against that, and then Mola, because, like, you're like, okay, I need a fire tanks, and some people are using, like, the fire unicorn as a fire tank for Molong. But I think she could do it too. Like, Molong, she gets attacked by Molong. Her Nemesis procs, and she can either do Threat State or she could do Prayer of Protection. So that's kind of nice. Makes the ally invincible, and then Perna comes in, he violent procs 15,000 times, and then you're invincible anyway. So I think it's actually, for Guild Wars, I think for Guild War offense, for Guild Siege offense, she's not bad. Would I use her in Arena offense? No. Would I use her in Dungeon teams? No. Would I use her in Arena defense? No. I mean, like, I've seen some people try it, but it really has not, I haven't seen any good results with Arena defense. Would I use her in Guild War defense? Maybe. Maybe I would use her in Guild War defense. I think that'd be nice to try out, but not Arena defense. I don't think she's I think that she's for Guild Wars. She's for Guild Wars. She's for Guild Siege. But also try out the combination with Bulldozer, or even with Copper too. Combination there is pretty beastly. Or you could even use it like other defense-based monsters. This Guild War defense skill is pretty strong. But anyway, that's where I would be using her for Guild Wars, Guild Siege. Revenge isn't bad for her, but I think I would go Violent Nemesis, HP. And then defense and speed subs. And just make her just a crazy fire tank. Then what else do we have? But honestly, I mean, like the one of the bummers about this is that people can still use third skills, right? They can still, if they have an AoE third skill, they could still use that. So it's not as OP as it could be. I mean, there's just, compared to some of the other skills, like, you can still, like, does this stop Lucian from using amputation magic? It doesn't, even if, like, because you could still use whatever skills you want. So maybe it needs to be tweaked a little bit, this threat state. It's nice that we're getting a new skill, that we got a new skill in the game, but I still think it needs some tweaks though. But she's a Guild War monster. She's Guild War, at least Guild War offense, right? That's where you use her. I don't really see her being used too much else. Josephine actually, I actually summoned her, right? I can't wait to skill her up because I think this third skill on 3-turn cooldown is pretty nice, right? Josephine, again, she's the one that's not like a Guild War monster, right? In my opinion. She's got this Guild War accuracy leader skill. We know accuracy. I already have an accuracy leader skill. It never works. Galleon always derps with. Don't even get me started, right? But I actually think she's not a Guild War monster. I think she's a RTA monster. So we've got this first skill, stun for 1 turn, 35% chance your attacks won't land as glancing hits. It's kind of like a monkey skill, right? Monkey first skill. Attacks the enemy to remove the beneficial effect and provokes for 1 turn. So this is kind of nice against things like Veligul, against things like Wusa. Strips are very nice in RTA. Monsters that have some kind of strip, right? Because we see Iris is great in RTA. We see Chilling is great in RTA. We see a lot of things like that. And then Heavenly, like even Chilling only has a, he's got a passive strip, but he only has, it's a single target, but he's still really good. It's a strip and he steals. But this is a strip and provoke, which is kind of not like against Wusa, against Veligul, against teams like that with them. And then we have this third skill, Heavenly Blessing passive, removes all the harmful effects on you when you're under inability effects, and creates a shield that's proportioned to 20% of your HP on allies for 2 turns. You'll instantly recover a turn afterwards. So I have her speed HP violent, violent broken, because I want her to get a lot of turns. But there was some people that were like, oh no, use her HP, because this way she's gonna get a turn anyway. Like, she just automatically, Heavenly Blessing, when she gets stunned, she automatically gets a turn. Also, triple HP means her shield is bigger, right? Which is nice. And she can take more bombs from Ciara, for example. So, and like the bomb from Ciara, and then the stun, and then she gets a turn instantly afterwards, and she puts a shield on the teammates. So, but I think Violent, this is reusable in 3 turns. But I think the teams to use this against is against Wusa, Veligul, Okeanos, Varad, things like that. Are like, those are the main teams that I would bring Josephine into. I've done it a little bit. I did it like once or twice on video, but I did it aside from that as well. But I think she's pretty strong when it comes to, like, in that specific situation. Would I use her in everything? Is she good for Guild War? Is she good for Guild War defense? Not really. You can maybe use her in Guild Wars. I used her in Guild Wars. It worked, but that's not where I would really use her. Not arena offense, not arena defense. Provoke for dungeons? No. Heavenly Blessing, like, this is not for dungeon. Not a lot of dungeons are going to try to crowd control you, so. And then I see people saying, like, oh, use her in raids. I don't know, because this stun here and provoke, like, what is that? How's that going to help you in raids? She's not a great monster for raids. She's very niche. For what, there's specific place against the CC teams with double immunity that she's great for, in my opinion. For everything else, there's MasterCard. No, for everything else, she's not great for everything though. She's good, and if you're not doing RTA a lot, and if you don't have a problem with those specific teams, then maybe she's not gonna see maybe she's not gonna be too useful. Like, I know some people like, oh, should I 6-star Josephine, or should I 6-star this or that? Like, this is not a flexible monster. She's good for what she's good for, but aside from that, she's not very flexible. Like, there's some monsters that are like super flexible, that are gonna be great everywhere. She's not one of them. Okay? So anyway, I wouldn't use her in dungeons. I wouldn't use her in arena offense. I wouldn't use her in arena defense. I wouldn't use her... There's a lot of places I wouldn't use her. I would just use her for RTA. In the current RTA meta, there's a lot of Eldjul, a lot of Wusa, a lot of Arad, a lot of Okeanos, a lot of stuff like that. So, she's great for what she's great at, but that's about it. Should she be one of your first 6 stars? No. Is she good end game? Yes, in that specific case. But not very flexible. Neither is she. Not flexible monsters. You could see this armor makes her less flexible. She's not a ballerina, guys. Okay. Then we have Louise. Louise wrecked several of my guildmates. This, not just her, but this whole... It was a Louise, there was a Molong, and there was a Kumar. That was the Guild War defense. And God, this so... Like, nothing could do enough damage to this team. And, I mean, there was a lot of Violent procs. So definitely ruin her Violent. But, lots of Violent procs. Crazy amount of HP. I think it had multiple sets of shield on it as well. But, like, this leader skill with those 2 tank monsters, like, I think everyone was HP with, like, good speed, good defense subs for all 3 of those monsters. But we could not, and on Violent, right? But, oh my god, like, nothing we had to burst them down, like, was doing that much. Like, cause this leader skill, right? You put this leader skill with tremendous HP tanks and shields, and this is also a shield too. So I think she's a good Guild War defense monster. That is the best application that I've seen her in. What is this? We've got decreased attack gauge. That's not... I mean, you could use that in, like, the stun and decreased attack gauge. Okay. Removes harmful effects on the ally, makes them invincible for 1 turn. You could use this, actually. I mean, you could use it with, like, Katarina. You could do it. You could do it. If you don't have Chloe and you have Louise, you could do it with Katarina. So there's that. Recovers the HP of all allies and shield portion to 25. I mean, this is not, like, exciting. This is, like, Asasis' 3rd skill, right? I've said it before when she first came out. I was like, this is kind of reminds me of, like, Asasis. She's got a shield. She's got a heal. But in that specific, just, like, crazy amount of... You add the violent nonsense in there, and you make it, like, so much HP that, like, people can't possibly, like, one-shot anything, right? Because that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to, like, one-shot things. Like, we were like, oh, Molong, Louise, Kumar. We'll be able to one-shot one of these. Like, so much damn HP with this leader, with the leader skill, with the shields, and everything. It was like, we couldn't... No one could burst any monster down to make it 3v2 fast. So, and then the violence... I mean, the violence, like, was what really got us, but... Guild War defense. I would say Guild War defense. I don't know if I would use her so much in Guild War offense, but Guild War defense I could see in a team like that. Super ridiculous tanky HP. Just crazy. So you can't get Lucianed, so you can't get, like, Bulldozered, so you can't get Coppered. Maybe Nemesis on the monsters too. Again, I would say Guild War's Nemesis, right? HP with speed and defense subs. And then she gets a lot of benefit from here. And then this is not based on her max HP. This is based on max HP. This is not. This is based on max HP. Okay. So these are both just based on, well, this is based on attack, and this is based on max HP, so. Yeah, oh my god. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit. Okay, the Paladins. I'm like, the Paladins are so underwhelming. I threw up in my mouth. That's amazing. I couldn't have said it better myself. You stupid stomach. Okay. We have Jeanne, which everyone has. Okay, first skill. I gotta skill her up, right? I gotta skill her up. She keeps losing for me. I think she's better on defense because and I feel like a lot of people agree with me here. Resistance on defense works. Resistance on offense seems to never work. I don't know, like, it seems to never work. You have a resistance leader, like, you go in, and they have a resistance leader, like, I can't land a debuff on them. You go in, and you look at some of my Guild War videos, and I try to bring Jeanne, and I'm like, oh, we got debuffed like 1,000 times. Okay, well, that's GG. GG, awesome. Stuns here. Recovers the HP of the ally with the lowest HP by 10%. Attack will deal more damage based on your max HP. So she's an HP tank, damage based on max HP. So you want to ruin her with good HP. Protection makes the ally invincible. So you can use this. You can use this with Katarina too. I mean, you could use this, or you could use this. Decent. I usually don't see her with that much speed. I usually see her like HP, and like speed subs, but not HP, not speed on slot 2. Generally speaking. And then we have Cry of Provocation. Provokes all enemies for 2 turns. This is actually good in... So you can use her in TOA. I actually think she's more usable than the other ones. Because you could use this in TOA. It's not bad in TOA. You can use this in RTA even. This invincibility. And then the Provocation. I want to at least give her more of a shot. Because honestly, I feel like she's more usable than the other ones, right? You can use this in Hall of Heroes. You can use this in a lot of spots. She's got this leader skill. I don't like her for Guild War offense, but I think she could be usable for Guild War defense. I think the most fun use of this Light Paladin, I'm going to give a shout out to YDCB here. The most fun use of this Light Paladin, and I will link the video in the description as well, but he has a fun Chandra and Light Paladin Guild War team that I think is the Guild War team that I think is probably the most interesting use of her that I've seen so far. So check out that video. But aside from that, I think she's actually more useful than the Fire and the Wind ones. So we did like the free one was not even the worst one because this could be pretty fun, right? Provoke for AoE provoke for where is this? AoE provoke for 2 turns. Better than Cry of Threat where they can still use their 3rd skills, right? They can still like amputation magic and stuff like that. So I think it's better than that. But I see her as an HP tank, right? HP, or speed HP. Because she does do this this CC, so I think speed on her is not bad. But I usually see people doing HP with defense subs, speed subs. You could even go like HP defense HP. That would not be bad because she's got 714 base defense. She's got a little bit higher base defense than, well, that one's 769. But this one I feel like should have higher HP. And this one should have higher, maybe, defense. Right? Because this is only based on max HP. So this one should be... I mean, like, am I weird for thinking this? I feel like since this is based on max HP, this should be based on max HP. And then she should have lower defense and higher max HP. And then she could maybe use a little bit less HP and higher defense. Since she's got this. And then take the max HP and put that on the other. I mean, I'm just trying to make them both make a little bit more sense, I guess. Right? Since higher base defense would be nice on her, since hopefully she resists, right? And she doesn't have this based on max HP, so... I don't know. Just thoughts, guys. And then, but I mean, this is hit or miss, right? I mean, this feels like it works on defense, but not on offense. Anyway... So that's actually how I do. I think I changed her on Rune Removal Day. I think I don't currently have her runed, but that's how I had her runed. Also, Revenge is not bad on her either. And then we've got this girl. Oh, she's like my favorite. Again, I would think I would use her mostly in Guild Wars, but I think you could use her in RTA as well. So the cool thing, but you have to rune a little bit differently in RTA. So she's got the highest base defense. And the cool thing about this, she's got this stuns the enemy for 1 turn, 85% chance. 85% chance. And then we've got the Fear of Punishment, remove beneficial effects, and provokes. I think she could actually be good for revenge, right? Internal Force passive. When the battle begins, balances the defense and attack power so that the stat with a lower value has the same value as the stat with a higher value. Okay, so I see some people doing weird things with this. And I see a lot of people like unawakened this, like not awakened, and they're like, oh, she needs a buff. Like, you didn't test her. You did, or like attack HP. Like, no, that's not how she should be ruined. Okay, balances the defense and attack power so that the stat with the lower value has the same value as the stat with the higher value. So, what you want to do, already you have better base defense. So you're going to get the most value out of putting defense, right? So defense, crit damage defense, I think is probably the best use for her. This way, she still has a crazy high defense, right? And then, she also does a lot of damage with her attacks. Right? She doesn't need to do damage based on her defense, because basically, you stack defense on her, and she does do damage based on her defense. You could stack attack on her, but it's gonna be easier. You have 100 and, what is that, 180 something, 175 points difference in attack and defense. So, it's way better to stack defense on her than stack attack on her. The cool thing is that this happens when the battle begins. So, Oblivion, from what I hear, I haven't used her personally, but from what I hear is Oblivion doesn't change this. So you can Oblivion this, and then she still has higher attack because it started at the beginning of battle, and it's not continue. It's like you started, it balanced it at the beginning of the battle, and it stays that way. So so that's just what I hear. And the same thing with using her in like frontline for raids. People said that as well. So there's that. But I think nice to have her like a defense tank and to use her in Guild Wars as a defense-based damage dealer that can take a few hits, not die, maybe have some like HP. You don't want to be like just defense, because then like ignore defense or defense break will just wreck her immediately. But I think defense, crit damage defense, crit rate subs, HP subs, what else? Accuracy subs are not going to be that bad. Resistance subs, because you don't want to get defense broken too much. But I mean, like, you could even go full revenge on her, because it's going to take a few hits to kill her, and she's going to stun every single turn when she revenges. So you can go violent, you can go, I've seen some people go rage, defense, crit damage, defense, and then she's got this leader skill, crit rate as well. So that kind of benefits from that. But yeah, I think I would kind of use her mostly in not Guild War defense, right? Because Guild War defense, you could just one shot or ignore defense. No one's gonna build her HP tanky, and if you build her HP tanky, then that kind of defeats the purpose of where she's good, right? That defeats the purpose of like, okay, well then HP, you're losing so much from this passive, right? So defense, crit damage, defense, I think is the best build overall for with speed, crit rate. Defense, crit damage, HP, subs. I wouldn't worry too much about attack subs, because you get that anyway when you build her with defense, with high defense. So I wouldn't really even worry about attack subs. HP is gonna be nice subs, but just overall value stats, kind of like the Fire Monkey, how you want like overall value stats overall for him. But yeah, really like this girl for like Guild War offense. Would I use her in a lot of other stuff too? I don't know. Like, I think I would maybe use her in RTA, right? RTA is an element neutral damage dealer. She's got a stun here. She's got to remove beneficial effects and provokes. Like, I think Guild War offense and RTA is where I would use her. Would I use her in... I mean, like, you don't get a lot out of her in dungeons at all, early game. So early game, like, probably, like, looks like it's not that great. But she's more of a PvP monster. And you can't really use her on defense, because you can just ignore defense. And she's dead. She's easy to kill. But I think she's a Guild War, Guild Siege offense monster and an RTA monster. So, anyway, guys, what do you think about some of these? I mean, I think the overall review, I don't know, the overall thing about them is they're not useful everywhere. They're useful for Guild Wars, either offense or defense in some format, and then sometimes in RTA. They're not useful in dungeons. They're not useful really in Rift of Worlds that much. They're not useful. I mean, like, you could find uses for them, but they're not going to be the best monster for the job. Arena offense and defense, not the best monster for the job necessarily. Maybe the wind one for, or I could see maybe like some nemesis mechanic on the wind one, or maybe the light one for arena, but generally would not be my first picks for those. Because I think I could see like these two in arena defense, maybe. I've seen this one before. Really never had a problem with her. Never seen this one. She's way too easy to kill for arena defense. Like, this is just Lucian bait, right? This is just Lucian bait for arena defense, but I feel like maybe these two could be viable, right? Shield and heal. Nemesis mechanic. Probably not too many people thinking about that. You could have her, Nemesis. But the thing is with her, with the... no, actually, sorry. Yes, still Nemesis mechanic with the cry of provocation. Lucian 1, she cuts in, and she provokes everyone. So no second Lucian right away. I mean, unless they're on will, right? So you still got that. But anyway, I just see them mostly for Guild Wars. So yeah, I think some of them could use a little buff, but they're very, very situational. They're not useful everywhere. How many times am I gonna say that? I think 5 more times. Guys, did you know that they're very situational and they're not useful everywhere? Guild Wars and RTA. Aside from that, I wouldn't really use them aside from that, honestly. So if you really don't care about Guild Wars or RTA, you probably don't love these monsters. But if you are hardcore into Guild Wars and RTA, you could probably find some uses. In I think mostly just Guild Wars, honestly. And they have Guild War leader skills, so it makes sense, right? All have Guild War leader skills, so it makes the most sense in Guild Wars. Contra's really trying to provoke. And this is, they did these right before they released Guild Siege, so these were really monsters that are trying to be extra stuff for Guild Siege. So they're not Perna, right? Totally different tiers. All right, guys, that's too long of a video already. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you guys got something out of it if you got these paladins. Maybe I think it's pretty likely that we might see a buff for them in the future, because I mean they're very niche, and I think 4 stars it's okay to be niche, but 5 stars, like, you want them to be usable in a little bit more areas though. But at least give them a chance, right? At least before you say they're trash, at least give them a chance, at least in Guild Wars. All right, guys. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. That's it for today. I will see you at Burger King, because I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna use their toilet. I'm gonna drop a deuce right in their toilet. I'm not gonna eat there because it's Burger King. No one eats at Burger King 2018. I'll see you guys as always in the next video.